In today's video, we'll be reviewing my viewers' setups. That's right, I asked my Discord members if they could send some pictures of their setups to review on the tech channel here today, and that's what we'll be doing. If you want to be a part of one of these videos in the future here, make sure to join our Discord server, and of course, keep an eye out when we do another one. Of course, let's get into it. Okay, the first setup we'll be looking at is actually my boy Dark. If you guys do not know, he's one of the people I play Apex with, and he's actually a Rampart main. And to quite literally start out his setup, he actually has the Rampart as his wallpaper, which is honestly pretty cool. I am not going to lie, that looks pretty sick. Of course, we got an alien mouse pad. We also got his mouse and keyboard, which are the Razer Ornata V2. Hold up, Ornata keyboard. Okay, so Razer Ornata V2. Gotcha. And of course, his mouse is the HC Man gaming mouse. T60. Interesting. I'm kind of curious on both of these. Of course, everything in this video when I look at these setups will be linked down below, so you weren't curious about anything these guys use, right down there, go for it. And of course, that is the top of his desk. There's nothing else really going on there. He does have a Nintendo Switch on there. It kind of feels a bit cramped. I feel like you knock over your water really easy onto your Switch, in my opinion. But then again, I don't know like the actual like inches your mouse pad is, but it looks like an extra large mouse pad. So I assume you have a bunch of desk space. But yeah, and of course his headset's up there. What is that headset? It's a Corsair headset. So the headset is actually the HS50 Pro Stereo Gaming Headset. Interesting. So yeah, it's a $50 headset. Honestly, looks pretty clean. Now he has his PC, of course. He's got a pre-built Alienware, which honestly, Alienware sometimes have some really good specs, but usually I would never buy an Alienware because, you know, the pre-builds are too expensive. That's just me though. But a packet inside of an i7 11700 KF at 3.5 gigahertz. Of course, he's got 32 gigabytes of RAM installed, so he's got the full shebang. And he's got a 3080, which is way better than my PC has. My PC has a 2080 Super FE card. I'd be really curious, so what's inside, like what GPU variant is inside that Alienware? I should probably ask him about that. We'll worry about that some other time. And of course, we got the rest of his setup, which of course you can see his gaming chair in there, which is actually the green chair Vengeance black and blue. Interesting. So it's a $100 chair, and right now it's like off by $100. Okay, not bad. Looks pretty clean. I think honestly, Dark's setup looks really nice. I like how like small and nice it looks. Like just like being, it's kind of comfy. It's kind of comfy, but kind of cramped in my opinion. Like I feel like when you put your legs in under the desk, it would be kind of cramped. But that's besides me though. And of course, we got his cable management, which he kind of has it all under his desk, like on the back side there. And you can see it got some RGB strips. You got some of his power strip right there and cables. It's not like the worst cable management, but you could probably hide it really easily by like just putting that extra cable and stuff like that behind the actual desk. I feel like that would be really simple to do and hide a lot of it, because you do have like a ton of slack. I mean, you like have a lot of slack, so you could literally just stuff it back there and then like maybe hide that black cable behind the leg right here, like tie it with some Velcro straps behind the leg or something, or get some like, what is it, there's some cable things you can actually put behind stuff. I'll have to double check that, but this would be really easy to clean up. And then of course he has like this side angle too, where it goes behind the desk and shows even more cables there, but that's already kind of out of sight by looks of it, so I'm not really too concerned. I would recommend though, if your PC's on the ground, put it on something so that way it doesn't get stuck on the carpet, because then it picks up like dust and debris faster, and you don't really want that. That's ultimately, in my opinion, if you're paying for a really good PC like this, I would recommend you actually put it on your desk, or maybe just on a stand, which I do have one link down below if you're interested at all. But overall, your setup looks really clean, like really nice. Dark. Your PC is packing heat. Your PC is packing heat. So the next person we're gonna look at this setup is actually somebody in my Discord server who wanted to keep it anonymous, but honestly, the setup is pretty nice, which you can honestly see by this image here. He got himself his PC on his left. It looks to be on the floor. Hopefully it's not, it's on like some sort of stand. He's got the new Xbox over there just vibing, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cramped desk. I've noticed like the last two desks are pretty cramped. He's got a mouse pad. He's got a keyboard. I don't know what this keyboard is. He'll probably list it down below as mouse, and then of course a mic with a boom line, which honestly, this whole first setup looks pretty good. This is not like first setup, but this whole setup just looks really good. Now for his mic, he actually has a Blue Yeti Blackout, which is of course like the same mic I use. And his headset seems to be a Steel Series, but doesn't look like a Steel Series. I'll probably have to ask him about it. If it doesn't get included in the video, then it doesn't get included. And then of course he got his Xbox controller charging, and he has decent cable management. Like it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's not like terrible per se, but it's not the best. It looks like he's in his room under his bed. Like this is his setup under his bed by the way it looks of it, which is not terrible per se. I've seen like setups like that look really sick. And he's got his PC, which his PC is actually kind of nutty, not gonna lie. So it has a 3060 inside of it, Zotac. It has a Ryzen 5 5600X, which is a 6-core 12-thread. I gotta double check that. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yeah, it's 6-core 12 threads. I was double checking that. I was pretty sure that was the case. And of course, he's got his actual memory. He has 2 sticks of gigabyte 8 gig memory, which is like 16 gigs, which is pretty good. And he's got a 4 terabyte Barracuda hard drive, which I want to quickly emphasize. The Barracuda hard drives that are, I think they're like, how much is it? I'm pretty sure they're like $50 for a 4 terabyte. I'll double check that real quick here. Yeah, Barracuda hard drive is actually only $70 for 4 terabytes. And these hard drives are actually really, really good. I just want to quickly emphasize that. Of course, if you need hard drive for mass game storage or just for storage overall, link to that down below. Of course, those links will support the channel, but this is a really good drive. Then he has a 1 terabyte SSD, Blue Digital, Western Blue Digital, was not bad. And he's got his MSI, not MSI, he's got a cooler. He's got a Cooler Master TD500 white mesh, okay. MSI Tomahawk B4550 motherboard. I thought he honestly might have a B450, but it's a B550. Interesting. And then he has a PCU of a gold power supply. Nice. Doesn't say the wattage though, unfortunately. I assume it's like powering a 3060, probably 650 at low, at high 700. I'm pretty sure it's a 650 though, if I had to guess. And of course he's got the Xbox Series S, and then he's got a monitor, and that's really about it, which honestly, pretty good setup. I'm not gonna lie, the only thing I would say about your setup that needs to be improved is probably your cable management. Like there's not really much to hide your cables on, besides maybe like getting a cable rack and placing it like under your desk, stash all your cables there. That way they're kind of not just all hanging all over the place. I'll have one of those linked down below if you are interested. Anonymous, we're just gonna call him that because he doesn't want to be called anything. But overall your setup looks really clean. I like the whole like setup you got going on right there. It's kind of nice and easy because you can put your mic away when you want to pull it out in and out when you're gaming actually. Okay, the next setup we're gonna look at is actually somebody from my Twitch chat, Fuzz, who's honestly, his setup so far looks really clean. He's got like a theme to it too, which most of these setups haven't really had a theme. So this is like the first one we've seen with a theme, which is kind of like a white theme, white and black. And you can see like a navy controller over there, but we won't talk about that. But he has this nice little quadcast mic, which is pretty cool. He's got 2 monitors set up, which is awesome. He's got the XLR, the large version of the actual Stream Deck, which I have the small variant, so that's cool. So he's got a bigger one than I have, which is nice. And then he's got himself a keyboard. I'm not 100% sure what keyboard it is, and he's got his mouse. I think he did tell me what they were. I'll double check that in just a second here. And he's got a nice little black and white mouse pad and a clean desk. So it looks like this is somewhere in his closet. I did already look where he placed his PC. The way he placed his PC to hide it, it was actually really interesting. So I want to go over that in just a second. Let's go over his keyboard and mouse though. So for the mic, he has a Hyper Quadcast, okay, and then for his mouse, he has Moto O wireless. He didn't say like what brand, but we got a Moto O wireless, which is pretty good. Then he's got his Razer Huntsman Mini, which is a small version of the actual Razer keyboard, which is actually pretty cool. That one's a really nice one, so that's nice to see he's got that. Headphones, he's got the TD90 Pros. And then he's also got a monitor, which is only like 165 hertz, which is still really good. That's way more hertz than my monitors have. My monitors are only 60 hertz. So that's pretty nice, man. And then of course we got where his PC is set up. His PC is actually set up like behind his desk in like a little cubby area where you keep like a router or you keep like your DVR and stuff like that. It's just an interesting spot overall. You can also tell he's got like a motherboard from MSI. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It looks like he has a bit of cable is down here, and he's kind of like hid away. Like if you don't look at it, you won't be able to see it. Like I wonder if we can see it from his front angle. Like from a side angle, you can't really see it. I guess the only way you could really kind of clean this up, if maybe get like a cable box and start placing some cable boxes behind your like actual thing. But even then, I don't think like that's gonna be huge. Maybe if you really wanted to, you could probably tuck all the cables in there beside this one black cable, or route that behind the black bar here. That way you can just place like a white piece of wood here, and that way you can kind of just hide everything. And that way you can at least keep the top open, so that way the heat from the PC can come out from the top of that spot, but you wouldn't be able to actually see the actual cables. You probably see a little bit, but I think it looks really good. Or you could have actually done even better, is just put a black piece of wood in between the black bar and the top of the desk. That way it kind of hides everything. That's unnecessary. That's if you really want to. Overall, I like the way you actually hide your PC, and then you got like a little rat's nest down there, but you're not really too focused on that. We're more focused on that front angle. Now for the PC specs, he does have a 2060, not 2060, a 3060 Ti, my bad. And he also has a Ryzen 9 59X, which is a 12 core, 24 thread CPU, which is really sick. And then he's got 32 gigs, so he's got the full shebang, and 2 terabytes of storage. He doesn't say what storage, but either way, this looks really good. Like, that PC is definitely packing heat. Like, I have a Ryzen 39X in my PC, so he has the newer version of that CPU, which is pretty cool. Which is, they're basically the same version. This one has a higher clock speed and much more better performance for the cores and threads, so that's just very interesting. So it's cool to see he has like that code on his CPU, and you can also see like the inside of his PC because of it, which honestly just looks really clean. It's a bit dirty on the glass here. That's probably just because of the fact that's like hidden away, collecting dust, which is not like bad per se, but I think he's done a good way of hiding it. But overall, I think your setup, Fuzz, is honestly so sick. You sent me a few other pictures of your other setups in the past, but honestly, I think this is definitely one of your better ones by like absolutely, because I just like the theme. The theme looks nice. The only thing that's kind of awkward is kind of that one air vent that's just kind of chilling there, but everything else though is really good. If you did enjoy this video here today on the setup tour review and you want to be part of the next one, make sure to check out our Discord server so you don't miss out on the opportunity when we do it. And of course, don't forget to make sure to smash the like button and get subscribed. And don't forget to check us on Twitch. We do stream there, of course, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Link down below to our Twitch channel. Until then, I'll see you guys for another tech video. Tech Grant out.